But again, it's so much the way things are set for you. It's not the way things accommodate you, if you Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 122 of the podcast. This is, I think, a really good episode. A lot of shit, some stories, some information. Another crazy story. I can't believe I haven't told this story before, about my early days in Japan. Some other, stuff, things, information. Just it goes all over the place. It flies a little bit. It's a pretty lengthy podcast, but it kind of flies by at a pretty much rapid pace. I explain why during the episode, which is why I'm gonna get out of here really soon. So go ahead, listen, and I'll holler at you next. Rewind that. Just go ahead and listen and enjoy. Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the podcast, episode 122 of the podcast. You can probably see things are a little bit different time of day. My dog's over here trying to sleep and like right next to me off camera, and he's just like, oh, fuck, you talking. But I'm here during the daytime. If you can see me on YouTube, if you're listening via the podcast, you can just go ahead and click the link as always, and the video's there. You can see my beautiful face. I'm in a much better mood than I was in the last episode. Thank you guys again for listening to me talk through my thoughts. Got some messages. Thank you, Rod, again for going back and forth with me on things, and let me know. It's all good to let open up. You know what I'm saying? But no, this time I'm kind of getting back into the regular swing of things with just work, and things have taken seems like more constructive tone back in the West. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let me clear something. This something on my phone is driving me crazy. Okay, it's like a little piece of hair or something that was just driving me crazy. I can't stare at that thing for like 30 minutes. You might hear I have a little bit of cough left over, but I'm doing pretty well. But so pretty much, I'll just let you know what's going on with me. I'm gonna be looking at the clock. I'm gonna be a little bit paranoid because, as you probably know, I use my phone as my camera, and I'm supposed to pick everyone up. So I have it on airplane mode, so I can't receive any messages, any phone calls. So I'm gonna try, I have a bit of amount of time before I'm supposed to like head out and go do stuff. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in the dark right now. So I don't know. I'm flying dark, but I have a good episode for you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. So again, some suggestions from Rod. I've taken some of your suggestions, put my little twang on it, and I think we have something good for you guys. So first thing I'm gonna talk about. There's really nothing to talk about on the Japan side. Pretty much, everything is kind of just starting to ramp up now. Work is starting to ramp up for me. Last week and this week I'm kind of on a semi-schedule. My son's on a semi-schedule. People working from home, things like that. So from next week, it's like Monday now. So next week it seems like Japan is gonna go full blown back into everyday life. So that should be interesting. My job is kind of funny. I have like a face shield I gotta wear, my mask and everything like that. And another thing that's different from the West, it's so fucking humid in Japan. I'm already seeing the people, like some people on the news. I was just like resting after I came back from grocery shopping and going to Costco, of course. The news is already like, oh shit, people are taking off their masks in summertime because it's too fucking hot. My family was talking about summer masks, I guess is going to be the thing now that they're going to start producing. There's just a glut of regular masks now. There weren't enough here, but now the shipments, everything's come in, and the people who like shops and stuff who try to flip some masks to make some profit, they're all fucked now. There's just a glut of masks, but it's too hot, so everyone's some people are just like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna wear a mask. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like yesterday I wore a handmade mask. It looks really nice from one of one of my relatives made. And like I got to the train station, my train was coming, and I like ran up the stairs. I got to the top of the stairs. I thought I was gonna pass out and fall down the motherfuckers just from lack of oxygen because the cloth was so thick and it was like kind of a warm day. I was just like, fuck. I got on the train, I had to like take that shit off and like, just like fucking I was like hyperventilating basically. So that's going to be interesting, especially because, you've heard me talk about how hot and humid summertime in Japan is. Like, yeah, my family was talking about it, and they were like, yeah, summer masks. I was like, look, if you see a fucking summer mask, you better buy all of them motherfuckers. You can get, like, just clear them out. If you can see them, clear them out right now. Because like that's gonna be the thing that's just gonna sell out super quick, and they're just gonna be gone. Because pretty much from now, I mean, rainy season is about to start soon. Like I looked at the my phone app, weather app. It's the Apple weather app, which is some bullshit. But from like later this week, it's just like rain clouds, thunder clouds, all every day. So. It's still kind of like late May, spring weather now, but probably in another week and a half, rainy season is going to start moving in, which means it's going to be rainy and humid every fucking day. But then after that, it's summertime, which is just muggy, humid, fucking jungle time. So that's when everyone's really going to be like, fuck, we need to get these summer masks. So I'm going to be on the lookout for them wherever I go. And if I just see them, I'm just going to just fucking attack them basically. And just, I'm probably just going to have to do some like ninja moves. I'm probably going to do some reconnaissance, like how I do some reconnaissance, check them out, see where they're going, and then just like hit up those places. And then if I find them, then just go to like a few different ones. I won't be like an American asshole, just like house all of them. I'll just house most of them, leave a few, go to another place, house more of them, and just keep doing that until I like, all right, are we good for the next like 2-3 months? All right, cool. So that's kind of my plan as far as that goes. And that's pretty much what's going on with me. Again, nothing major, just ramping back up to everyday life. Okay. All right, sorry, I heard someone outside. Anyway, let's go. So let's get into these topics. So, the first one I have, I forgot to save this. Is Rod, again, your suggestion. I'm gonna kind of put my little tweak on it. Is about Omotenashi in Japan, right? And which reminds me of something that I'm going through right now. Of Japanese Omotenashi, some of the issues that I have with it is, okay, long story short, for my business and online banking and things like that, trying to connect with PayPal for me is like trying to connect my PayPal account to my Japanese account has been a huge undertaking. Like literally, I've gone into my bank and be like, hey, how do I connect my bank with PayPal? And the people are like, PayPal? What the fuck is PayPal? Like, and you might be like, what are you, like, that's Japan. Like, yeah, I'll have to like write it down, PayPal, like you've never heard of PayPal? And they're like, no, I don't know what the fuck that is. That's Japan. Japan is an island. And yes, things like PayPal, don't even think about Cash App, like shit like that. It's just not, Japanese people love cash. And that's like an example of it. So my bank, they have like, online banking is just so behind the times compared to the West. And, just debit. I think I've told you before on this podcast that even the concept of having a debit card, like, I believe it was like 3, maybe 4 years ago that I actually saw a news story explaining what the fuck a debit card is. And like, it was like a 15-minute news segment on like, this is a debit card, this is a credit card. A debit card is not a credit card because and like, it was like a whole in-depth thing explaining the difference between the two. And like, that's literally, how behind the times on some things Japan is. So now debit's kind of a thing, an accepted thing in Japan. But I remember when I came here, when my friends came here. Now that had to be about like 7 years ago. 7 years ago, one of my friends from college and her at the time fiance, I believe, came here and she tried to use her debit card and she got shut the fuck down. And she was like shocked. She was like, "Are you fucking serious?" She was like, I'm just like, look, this is Japan. You can't expect the same shit to happen. Like, and she's like, "But it's a fucking debit card." And I'm like, I know. Just don't make a scene. hmm. Hmm. So sorry, I'm drinking a little bit. Of course, Costco brand sparkling water. Mm. Mm. I'm super excited because I got like a case of Hoegaarden beer that was on sale, and I fucking love that shit. Bottles, of course, not cans, but so I got a couple of those chilling in the fridge right now. But I gotta drive, so I can't drink it, But anyway, anyway, my PayPal, right? Like, I was talking to my mother-in-law about it like earlier, like, because like the issue is, and it's been going on for like about a month. I've been dealing with this. I finally had to just send PayPal a message again because I'm just exhausted. I don't know what the fuck else to do. Like, dealing with my online banking for my corporate account, like, and don't think like, oh shit, Akil's got a corporate account. I got like a few dollars in there, okay? Today, as of today, but when I start getting paid, no, no, like like when I first set up my corporate account, like, I think like 4 or 5 years ago, at first they gave me like, they were like, okay, you want to do online banking with your corporate card? They sent me like this huge fucking packet with like 2 or 3 different passwords. It was like the most antiquated fucking ass backward system. Like, I had to plug in like a card reader with like a IC chip card, and then I had 2 different passwords I had to put in, and then it was fucking bananas, right? I just didn't know what the fuck was going on, and all the instructions were in Japanese. I remember to set it up, they mailed me like 2 letters, and I had like 1 letter with the initial password, then I had to change that to another password, and I could only use the card. It was fucking crazy. And then last year they were like, okay, they were modernizing the system, so they sent me a new one. They were like, hey, your old shit, we're getting rid of that, and then your service, I guess, is free now, which makes sense why they stopped billing me for it. Which became, I don't know. Anyway, so they were like, okay, you're, hopefully, hopefully you can see me. Yeah, you should be able to see me. Inside is lighter than outside. But like, whatchamacallit? So they, yeah. So they have finally a regular website, a regular platform and stuff like that. But like, trying to set up my PayPal, and I was just doing it today, trying to, again, giving it another attempt today to link my PayPal and my corporate account. Because all I got to do is just like, you're supposed to just log in and click a button, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't fucking work, right? Like, the normally when you click something on PayPal, it sends you to your bank's online banking screen. You're supposed to be able to log in, and then that's it, and then it's like, okay, cool, this is a verified account, it's all good. But the problem is my bank's login screen does not have settings for a corporate account. So I just can't do anything, basically. Like, there's just nothing. It's just impossible for me to log in. And I was talking to my mother-in-law about it. We were going back and forth about it. She was like, yeah. And I was like, this is fucking life in Japan. This is the ass backwardsness of Omotenashi, quote unquote. Because for me, and this is one of my things about Omotenashi. Well, don't worry, I'll get into the article. But Omotenashi, very much for me, is from the perspective of the giver, of the host, right? You've heard me probably say this to you like before. I'm serving this to you with all of my heart and all of my consideration for you, right? Whether you actually like this thing, whether you actually is something you want is kind of secondary to the effort that I'm putting into trying to please you, right? And that's something that you really need to understand about Japan, like a deeper meaning of omotenashi. You know, people, when it goes well, it's fucking awesome. Like, people will go out of their way, bend backwards, really try to consider you, your needs, and what you want to make you to please you as a guest. If it doesn't go well, it's kind of frustrating, right? Because it feels like you're in a fucking cult where everyone's just like, we want to make you happy. And you're like, no, you're not making me happy right now. I just fucking want this. And you're like, but no, you don't. We have all of this for you. And you're like, dude, look, I just want a fucking paper towel. And like, we don't have paper towels. We have these special handmade fucking tissues for you. And like, god damn it, I just want to fucking wipe some gravy off of my fucking cheekbone. Like, you know. You know, shit like that is kind of how it goes. Like, and then it's like, do you want to wipe gravy? You want to wipe off gravy with these handmade fucking towels? What's wrong with you? And it's just like, ugh. So like that's kind of what I'm going through right now. And but this is a little bit sidebar from Omotenashi. Why I'm having so much trouble with my bank is because I think, and I know, and my mother-in-law, she completely agree with you, is how Japanese corporate structure works. Like, and I've talked to someone in IT, and like how shit like banks and stuff like that, how they do their IT infrastructure, or, you know, things like that, they don't really focus on UX at all. Like, and I was telling her, like, what probably happened with my bank is something like this. You know, the person in charge of IT or whatever the fuck, online banking, whatever, whoever it is, the person in charge was probably one day like, okay, we got to do something with online banking. And they're like, oh, okay, fuck, I don't know what to do. Let me go talk to a company. You know, hey, we want to do something with online banking. We need something. We need security. Make it secure. And the company's like, okay, you want that? All right, here you go. Boom. And they give them the package for that, right? The company more than likely won't go beyond what the person asked for. They won't be like, hey, you're asking for this, but actually, you know, it's kind of probably better in a few years. You're probably going to want to have this, or you need to think about all of this as a whole, you know, in the next few years. So it's just better if we do this, this, and this. They won't really do that, you know, especially with like a bank or something like that. They'll just do what they're told, right? So then that happened with my bank. They had the whole fucking crazy system. Then a few years later, they're like, hey, okay, you know what? Forget that. We need to replace that with this. You know, for our regular customers, they need this shit because they were going cashless, so we need this. And so they made this system B. You know, they got rid of system A, they got system B. And then they were, you know, also for companies, we have system C for companies. So great. System B for people, replace system A. And then for companies, we have system C. But they're not, in all of those projects kind of happen probably separately of each other. We're going to roll out system B, then later we're going to roll out system C, but they don't think about how A, B, and C work together. There's no umbrella of you know, interface to connect all this shit together. Well, if you had A and you want to move from A to C, they should kind of flow smoothly together, where you can just log in and they all cover like one thing. You just put in one password. People don't think like that here. And when you're in situations like I'm in right now, like, you know, especially because they're only thinking about their system. Yeah, okay, our customers want to log into our system and use our shit. Okay, this is what they're going to do. But they don't have the image to think like, oh, well, what about how logging in from an outside system or connecting that or whatever, you know, like if I'm sure PayPal kind of came to them, it's like, hey, we have customers. Okay, sure, we'll let you access our system. Here you go. Here's the link. Bloop. But they don't really investigate like how the shit actually works or anything like that. So, you know, and then you're just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you gotta fucking email people and go through all this dumb shit of something that should just be like super, super simple. That's been taking me literally weeks, and I'm trying to get this thing connected. And there's a little bit of money transfer before the end of the month. And I mean, it's not a big deal if I don't, but I'd prefer to have it done by the end of the month, just for a lot of for a few administrative reasons and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm going through, and that's kind of one of the. That's why I say, like, for me personally, like, Japanese omotenashi is very, very good. It can be very good, but I also have to take it with a grain of salt, because I understand, like, it's from a very Japanese perspective. And that's something you have to understand as a guest in Japan, because if you really put up a fuss about things, it really looks bad on you as far as Japanese people. And, you know, again, like, people will just look at you like you're crazy. Like, and you might not, especially if you don't have the cultural or language skills, you might not even realize it, but they are. Like, you just basically got to shut up and take it. Whatever people are trying their hardest to do, just, if you don't like it, just shut up and take it. Like, if you can, if it's possible, because it's Japan. And that's like, even if it's like too much. Like, if you try to like, wait, can we just do this or change this? You're going to make your life way more complicated. Okay, there's this weird website. I don't know why it's like this. Like, half of the fucking screen is just some pop-up banner ad. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Whoever designed this is just crazy. Okay. But anyway, it's just Omotenashi. 4 guys reveal their most shocking things about Japan's hospitality. Number 1, everyone in electronic stores are such professionals. Why do you guys know so much? And that's Americans. Yeah. And I would say, again, this would be, I would go under it. Well, depending on which one you're going to. Now, there have been, before the corona situation, such a large influx of tourists coming into like Akihabara or places like that. Electronics districts, tourist areas. I'm sure that they have staff that can speak English in a lot of these places now. Again, I just don't really shop there, so and sometimes the staff gets pissed off at me because like there's been a few times where like the staff will see me in like an electronics store or something, and they'll come up to me and they'll start talking to me in English. And for me, like, my stance now is like, some people want to practice their English, so I'm not gonna like push my Japanese on you. Like, I'm at a level of my Japanese, not like my level's like super high. Again, my speaking has gone to the fucking crapper in these past few years, but I can kind of work my way around to like a regular conversation, no problem. So, like, a store or something like that, no problem. Like, my iPhone, I had issues with my iPhone, going to get that replaced and stuff like that. All Japanese is no problem for me, right? So, so going to electronic store is no problem, right? I'm like, okay, maybe this person wants to practice their English. I don't know, right? So, cool. If you start talking to me in English, I'll talk to you in English, I'm not going to like speak my native, I'm a teacher, so I'm not going to speak my native level English to you, but I'll match your level and give you practice whatever you want. But like sometimes like that'll happen, and then the person will start to struggle after a while, and if they do, like, I'll just ask them like, do you want us to use Japanese in Japanese? And then we'll start talking, and they're like, oh, you can speak Japanese, and we'll start talking, and then they'll be like, they'll get embarrassed. They'll be like, why didn't you just say that from the beginning? And they'll just be, and there's like half laughing, like, oh, your Japanese is actually good. Like, fuck. I'm so embarrassed now. But it's also times where like I think I went to a restaurant, like a diner, I went to Sizzler. Yes, it was Sizzler. Like last year sometime, and the staff, she was trying to use English, and she was like a university student, and trying her hardest, and I was like, okay, go ahead, take your time, it's cool, like, I'm in no rush, so, and I wrote her a nice little feedback note, like, good job on your English and stuff like that, like, I think that's my duty to be encouraging of people, so I've kind of come to those kind of terms nowadays, so, But I would say, like, a lot of the people who work in electronic stores are probably otaku, or, electronics, really into electronics. And that's kind of why they know so much, why they're specialists. They have to know about that shit, and they're interested in all that shit. So I don't know what the fuck this person's going in there asking about, but typically, like, all of, yeah, they're kind of like, for me, like, all the people that I've talked to are like kind of condescending otaku. They're just like, well, you don't know how much goddamn RAM do you need, goddamn it. They're just, their stance is really like, fine. So But again, customer service wherever you go is going to be great. Next one, an Italian person said, "It's crazy that the buses and the trains don't even come a minute late." Yes, that is true. Like again, you can set your life. You heard me set your life by the train schedule. Buses are just kind of a crapshoot, I would say. Generally, they're on time, but again, traffic is a bit of an unknown, so it can go awry a lot more. But the train, generally speaking, you can set your life to your train, and you kind of do. Like you'll find me as well. Like you'll find yourself running like hell for a train when another one's gonna come in like 3 minutes. Like that, you just get into that mode living here, like especially in the Tokyo area. Like you're like, oh shit, the express, fuck, and like I gotta get the express. Like you get super hype on the express, but it's like in the big scheme of things, just like a 3 minute difference between the local sometimes, but it feels so much faster. A minute is life and death here, especially because everything's so punctual. Not only services, but people are so punctual. In my job as well, I have to be very punctual. So that's kind of a big issue. Like the train I was running for example, it was the train that I wanted to get, but if I had missed that train, then there would have been maybe like a 10-minute lag difference between my arrival time, and it would have been like me getting to my desk like 15 minutes before my first bell versus like 5 minutes before my first bell. So I ran like hell and I almost fucking passed out because of that heavy piece of cloth over my face. All right. So again, that's a part of Omotenashi of Japan. On the train system, just the natural infrastructure of things. But again, it's so much the way things are set for you. It's not the way things accommodate you, if you will. So, set systems that you exist in is really pretty much how I would explain it. Whoa, I heard a little bloopity bloop from this mic. It is what I would say is what omotenashi is. Again, set systems that you exist in. Things are set up for your benefit, and if it's not actually for your benefit, or it's not something you really want, is kind of secondary to the thought. Again, it's the process, not the. I got some shit for you guys. Yeah, it's the process, not the result. That's important in I would say pretty much all things in Japan. So the process of omotenashi, the thought, the consideration that goes into omotenashi, is more important than the amount of pleasure that you get from whatever the person fucking came up with. Again, like it could be a little small piece of candy that's been painstakingly, packaged, and like I've had that, pieces of chocolate, like a little fucking package of chocolate that's been put together, wrapped with a little fucking bow and a little fucking note, and put in a little fucking box, and they're given to me, and it's just like, oh, okay, thanks, and I'm just like, I don't even feel like eating this right now. I feel like bad for eating this because you put so much time into, putting fucking like 10 pieces of chocolate into something. But because it's happened to me in one of my private lessons, because I said, oh yeah, I love chocolate mint, and like the lady remembered it, and every few months she'd like package these little fucking, she'd buy some, put them in this little package, put a little bow on it, put it in the fucking box, write a little note on it and shit like that. And I was just like, I feel guilty about eating these motherfuckers. I mean, it's only like 5 minutes worth of chocolate goodness, but like, I could tell she put like 15, 20 minutes into it, and that's omotenashi, right? And so you just gotta, the important thing to remember is showing your appreciation, not be like, oh, cool, thanks. Like you have to, your reaction, again, same thing, your reaction, like, oh, fuck, oh, the chocolates, the fucking bow, like, put all that into it, right? It's kind of important. All right, next, the hot water comes straight away. That's not really a big thing to me. Bathroom omotenashi is, yeah. Bathroom culture. A lot goes into bathroom culture here in Japan. Just the care that is the set of a bathroom. You heard me say it. Fuck American bathrooms. Fuck them. to hell. Okay, I'm sorry. I fucking love me a Japanese bathroom. That's the shit. It's just, I mean, in most American bathrooms, for example, you don't take off the shower head. Like, it's just stationary, but taking that motherfucker off, getting where you need to get, like, it's fucking amazing. You got the bathtub. I can talk about it for days. You got the bathtub right next to you. It's just love, man. No toilet in there, no poop smell. It's just love, man. It's amazing. You've got like it's completely waterproof. You heard me talk about this. You can just splash all around the place. My son splashed me with water all over the goddamn place, having a blast. In wintertime, you have a fucking heater. You can just bloop, flip the switch. The heat comes on. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, you got a fan that blows all the steam out. Like, it's just great, man. It's just fucking great. I can go on for days. So definitely, like I said, you waking up there, buddy? What's up, dog? My co-host doggy is waking up, and he's still like, why are you still talking? I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. He's off camera, but you want to say hi to the people? You want to say hi to them? He's like, fuck, you can pick me up. Okay, come here, dog. Come here. Let's say hi. Say hello, everybody. He's like, please let me go. Hello, everybody. People on YouTube, you have anything to say? No? Okay, all right. He's just looking at me like, you motherfucker. Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's get back to Japanese taxis are so safe and have the best service. Yeah, I would say so too. If you're new to Japan, go. If you're trying to practice your Japanese, talking to a taxi driver is a good way to practice Japanese. You can just talk all crazy to them, ask them, some stuff. Like me, I'm at the point where I don't like talking to taxi drivers anymore. I know some of my friends, they love it. They love talking to them. For me, I'm just like, I ain't got time for that shit anymore. But I used to talk to them, but if you're studying Japanese, that's a good way to practice your Japanese as you're riding through Tokyo. It's an expensive way, I would say. Taxis are quite expensive here. So, just be prepared for that. If you're fucking drunk as hell, like I've heard some horror stories about drinking in taxis. Like I've been almost wanting to throw up in taxis several times. Don't do it. Just hold on to it. Yeah, don't be an asshole because they gotta clean it. Like, just don't do it. And taxis interior is really nice here. They got like lace and cloth and shit all in there. And if you throw up inside a taxi, it's just the worst thing ever. They like it just make a huge scene. So, even if you gotta like stop, pull over. I've literally been in situations where I've held on to it. I'm like, I'm not throwing up in this fucking taxi. And then like I'm just like, oh Lord, please hurry up. And then as soon as the door opens, I just like fly out of there and just I'm all fours on the curb, just like hacking up my lungs, and I'm just like, I'm good, thank you. So, yeah, that's, again, my omotenashi for the taxi drivers, my consideration for them. Okay, so that's that. Again, it's a quick article, nothing too big about it. Those are just the headlines for that. Oh, fuck, man, I haven't even gotten to, oh, shit. Okay, I'm gonna push the limits. Let me talk about a few things, interesting things, just for some humor. One thing when you're meeting people as well, you're gonna talk to the crazy Japanese person speaking English, right? Random sidebar. A crazy Japanese person speaking English is something that because last episode was a bit heavy, so I kind of wanted to lighten things up. And one of them, the pool guy one, you might have seen before. It still gets me hilarious to me. What that is, and you'll see, again, check the description wherever you are and watch those too if you haven't seen them before. The baseball player, I haven't seen that before either. He's trying his best, but the pool guy is, I think, the biggest example of, I think, not Japanese omotenashi, but the Japanese spirit of just fuck it, just do it, and then it'll be all right. Just ganbareba dekiru, right? If you try your hardest, you can do it, kind of thing, right? And this situation is just like that, where a guy, the pool guy, he has no English skill at all. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on, but he's just like saying whatever random shit that he can say in English, and it's like, hey, if I just like, give him my best, something will happen. And some Japanese people are like that, especially when you're drinking. If you're out drinking, you will encounter some people like this, right? Different levels, different degrees, but how you handle them is completely up to you. I tend to try to handle them gracefully, kind of like, okay, my advice would be, if you're around trust me, if you've been to Tokyo, you've been to Japan and drinking, you probably recognize this type of person. My biggest advice is don't feed into it, man. Don't feed into it. Don't do it, because if you feed into the craziness, be nice, be polite, but don't feed into it, because the person's like, hey, I'm communicating. English is easy. Foreign people are cool. Everybody loves me. And then it just goes fucking crazy. Like, trust me, it goes fucking bananas and gets out of control. One example, I've never told this story. I'll tell this quick story. When I first came to Japan, I have a video of it somewhere on one of my hard drives somewhere. Of course, I'm not going to share it, but my old manager, we were hanging out one time in the izakaya. I think my first year in Japan, something like that. They used to I don't know, they used to play cards or shit, because it was nomihara. It was all you could drink for 2 hours. So sit there, maybe play. Don't play cards in the izakaya. This is a little bit rude thing to do, but it's like a casual izakaya. A large group, so it's not a big deal, especially back then. But play cards and drink and eat and stuff like that in the izakaya. It was my first time going there, and we were there, and another thing, sometimes drunk Japanese people like to take off their clothes. I don't know why. I've asked Japanese people why, and I don't know. But if you ask any Japanese person, especially Japanese dudes, they're gonna have at least, who like to drink, they're gonna have at least one friend who likes to take off their clothes. Guaranteed, right? I don't fucking know why. Who gets drunk and just likes to get naked? I don't know. But anyway, so we're there, we're playing cards or whatever. They're playing cards. I can't remember. This was way too long ago. I can't remember if I was playing cards or not, but I was just hanging out and taking some videos and stuff on my phone. Now that I think about it, taking a video of this situation was probably the wrong thing to do. But again, I was like a 20-something-year-old guy in Japan. I was just recording everything. On my little fucking galake flip phone, futuristic Japanese flip phone. Anyway, so this older dude, it was in the table next to us. It was a girl, her grandfather, her father, and her boyfriend, and those four were at the table for dinner, and we started talking. And in our group, no one could speak Japanese, by the way. So, but the old guy, my manager at the time, he could kind of speak a little bit of Japanese. Enough to get by on light conversation, but I hadn't started studying Japanese at this point, so I was completely in the dark of what the fuck was going on. And so they start talking, and they had light conversation, and we're all like, what is he saying? He's like, he's just talking kind of crazy, and then he's a few random English words, and he starts talking and laughing and stuff, and then the conversation kind of rises to a point, and my manager's like, oh fuck, he's talking crazy now, don't know what to do, and the daughter is just like, and her boyfriend's just rubbing her back, it'll be okay, it's okay, and so the father and the grandfather, because they're on the same side, they're just talking, they're just going crazy, right? And the grandfather's like, I'm strong, look at me, I'm strong. He's he's fucking drunk out of his mind, and so he takes off his shirt. No. Yeah, before he takes off his shirt, he's like, let's arm wrestle. You want to fucking arm wrestle? Let's go. Not in an aggressive way, but just going fucking batshit crazy. And, he's like, yeah. So my manager kind of, half wrestles him, arm wrestles him lightly, and I think maybe lets him win. I can't remember. And the guy, yeah, he takes off his shirt, old like 80-something-year-old Japanese guy, like showing his pectorals, like all crazy. And the daughter's just like, fuck, and the dad just like laughing and going crazy, and he's just like, they're just like all over our table, and just, it was just a mess. It went on for like 20 minutes. I got like 2 or 3 minutes of it on film. Again, I'll never show it. It's somewhere on one of my PCs or a memory card or something. Like, honestly, I just won't show it because that's just so, wrong. It would be wrong for me to show something like that, and it was like, me as like 38-year-old Akil, like I wouldn't record that. I shouldn't have recorded that. And but again, I was 20 something. Again, I've done a lot of shit that I shouldn't have done in my 20s. Okay, I'm sure we all have. But yeah. So then the guy's like going on crazy, and then he hits the peak, and then he starts crying. He's like, oh my god, he starts crying in the fucking izakaya, and the daughter's just like, oh my god, like she's about to cry. The dad's like, holding, like, I think my manager's holding the grandfather. The dad's like trying to tell him he's gonna be okay. The daughter's over there super fucking embarrassed. We're over there laughing our asses off, like, and it was just, I'm just like, oh my god, that's all I was. You can just hear me like, oh no, oh shit, oh my god, for like the whole video. I must have been doing that for like 10 minutes, but yeah. So my point is, how it connects with all this shit. Don't fucking get caught up in the crazy, antics of people who might be drunk, might be, getting super excited, speaking English if you don't have English ability, or excited at the fact that they're with foreign people, because some unpredictable shit might happen. I mean, nothing dangerous, but you might just have your hands full with like some shit where you're just like, okay, I kind of just want to get out of this situation, and I don't know how, because it's gotten super awkward, and that kind of can happen, so that's my advice. My advice is just kind of gracefully like, okay, thank you, do a few bows, like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. One of these, like, one of these little hand gestures is kind of like, get the fuck, means like, okay, that's enough, motherfucker, back up, like, oh, okay, thank you, okay, thank you, do that, and then generally people can kind of understand, get the fuck. This kind of like, it's like a right there, stop it, it's kind of my move, like, oh, thank you, is the move that I like to do to kind of tell people back the fuck up off me in Japan. All right, I'm going to try and, we got some good shit. I want to, okay, I'm really getting nervous about the time right now. I'm going to try the main article that I have. I'm not going to be able to get through the whole thing, but, food. Again, no, whatchamacallit? No, convenience store food is the main thing. No fucking, what's that shit? Food reviews. Well, this is kind of a food review, but, again, the whole affiliate Sakura Mart kind of thing is kind of in the back of my head right now. Whatever. I'm just kind of getting back into the groove of the podcast. So whatever. Here we go. This is an article from Japan Travel. And again, thanks Rod for the idea about convenience store food. I'm gonna do fast food to get in the future. But I just wanted to get one. I'm not going to be able to finish this today. I'm just going to speed through a few of those. And I'll pick it up next time along probably with some, what was I talking about? Hold on, let me check, make sure. Okay, I told you I still get nervous about this fucking thing. All right, what am I talking about? Okay, next time, fast food as well as finishing this list. All right, so this list is kind of weird because it's 25, 22. Premium roll cake. Roll cake is good. This is really good. This is just straight calories, by the way. But it's fucking good, though. Again, I'm going from bottom to top. I would advise you to do the same thing if you want to. It's a bit more dramatic that way. Roll cakes are good. It's just a bunch of cream with fucking sponge cake wrapped around it in a circle. It's really good. But again, it's yeah. Mochi, shake, roll cake. Again, anything roll cake is good, but just calories. If you're watching calories, you'll finish these in like 2 seconds, and it's just gonna be a shitload of calories. Um, Ika no sugata fly. I don't really like these. They're kind of like fried squid snack kind of things. They're just not my food thing. I'm gonna skip those. Kaleage-kun. Kaleage-kun is the shit. Like if you don't know, Lawson has kaleage-kun. It's like these little fried chicken pieces. It's like a big chicken nugget, but it's like good tender ones. Get the red one. The red, if you like spicy stuff, get the red one. They got the red. They got the cheese. I used to live off of these things like my first year and a half in Japan. Karaage-kun, especially if you're drunk. Oh my gosh, that is the food to get. Like this is the regular. The spicy is the best. Like, whew, I used to crush those. Okay, I think you get like 5 of them, if I remember, 5 of them in a little package. They're good. All right. Akuma no onigiri. I've had some of these before. I don't really remember them. I'm gonna skip that. Coffee from the convenience store. I'm not really cheesecake frappe and fuck that. I'm like, and anything from the coffee machines. That's just too weird for me. I'm not really a big coffee person. Bitter chocolate ring. Holo Ninga bitter chocolate ring. It just looks like fucking chocolate Cheerio, I guess. I've never eaten those. Family chicken again is another chicken related. I'm not super big on family chicken. Again, it's from Family Mart, which is one I'll go over probably the supermarket chains and stuff in the next episode probably in more detail. But I'm not big. Family chicken is very popular. It's again boneless chicken piece. I've had it a few times. It's good, but again, sometimes for me the middle can be a little bit too juicy, veiny kind of thing. I like more white meat chicken, like so dark meat kind of it's like sometimes you don't know what you're getting into basically. So but it's good, it's spicy. People go crazy for it here. I'll do like 2 more of these. Zakuto Bayu. I don't know what the fuck that is. 15 wafu tuna mayo. This is gonna be your bread and butter. You can't go wrong with wafu tuna and mayo fucking onigiri, which is rice balls. You can't go wrong with this in a convenience store. Just learn. If you don't know any Japanese, look at these pictures and look at the one on the right says wafu tuna mayo mayonnaise. Learn those kanjis. If you don't, because you can't go wrong with that, right? Wherever you go. So tuna mayo is good, but wafu tuna mayo is next level shit. I've never eaten this next one. Cheese in snack triple. I might be able to get through this whole list. Let me see if I can try and get through this whole list before we wrap up. Cheese in triple snack. I've seen these. I've just never eaten them. They look like, what is those? Wispix? Wheat, like wheat. What's not wheat thins? What are those things called? Those cereals like with like wheat, shredded wheat. It looks like shredded wheat. But I just never eaten them. It's like cheese. It just freaks me out. So you try it if you want to. Some foods, like the food combinations, just a little bit too weird for me. I just can't fuck with it. Another one, again, it's written in English, so it's kind of tough for me to read it. Oishisa maru goto natural potato. Okay, it's just probably potato chips in the shape of potato wedges. I wouldn't fuck with it. This next one's good. Burrito, ham and cheese. This is take me back to my fucking. You can see my excitement building. The excitement is building like I'm the fucking ultimate warrior of the convenience store. Again, I've eaten quite a few of these back in the day. These are good. These used to be my lunch. In my 20s. When I first got to Japan. If you have them heated up in the microwave, it gets all cheesy, melty. Eat it quick. But it's good. The end of it gets a little bit rubbery. Like the end little piece that you eat is because it doesn't really have much ham and cheese in it. Again, if you eat pork, but just you can deal with that. But it's good. It's really fucking simple, but I don't know why it's just fucking good. Maru mochi potato, never eaten that from 7-Eleven. Kamu Kamu lemon, you've heard me talk about lemon snacks before. This is the one I was talking about. Again, it's just fucking, yeah, sour as fuck, but really good. You could just, if you like sour shit, just eat that. Number 7, Jersey milk pudding, never had that. Black Thunder is like a fucking popular candy bar. I've never eaten it. It's just like rice cracker kind of Rice Krispie stuff covered in chocolate. It's not a big deal to me. People love it here. Country Ma'am are a big deal though. Number 5, Country Ma'am are fucking dope. Like these just little fucking small soft cookies. You can just house those. Ugh, they're good. They're really good. Definitely recommend those. Hyoketsu? Is that what it's called? Hyoketsu? I just know Miss Chuhai. I don't even know the name of it. Oh, okay, yeah, they're Hyoketsu. Like, I never knew the name of... I never paid attention to them. It's just Chuhai. Like, Chuhais are Chuhais. Like, nobody gives a fuck about the brand of Chuhai. Like, it's just get some Chuhais. Like, you know. Kirin Chuhais are good. Again, pretty much the flavor, the alcohol percentage is the only thing you're going to pay attention to. It's just good. It's just what it is. It's fucking what is it? Chuhai, vodka. Yeah, made with vodka and fruit juice flavored carbonated water. Yeah, and they'll get you there if you're out for, and they're not expensive. If you're out drinking, you know, and you're not drinking beer, you know, on, like, for example, for me, best way to do if you're going out for a night on the town, especially if you're in your 20s. You know, or going between venues is another, to keep the party going. Stop at the convenience store, because there's always a convenience store somewhere. Buy a Chuhai, get a Chuhai Strong or something like that, and drink it as you walk to the next place you're going to go to. Is a great way to keep the night rolling, keep the energy high, keep the alcohol level high. Or from the train station, you know, to the train station, if you will, depending on, you know, how you roll. For me, definitely from the train station, waiting to meet friends or things like that. Just a warm night starter. This is a good way to go. Also saves you money going into a club or a bar, things like that. Peiyangu, these yakisoba things, my wife used to eat those when I first met her. It's just a fried yakisoba, which is good. It is good. Preparation for it takes a bit of effort though. You gotta boil some water and do some shit. Like, I never knew how she did it. Like, I just was like, okay, you do that and I'll just eat it. But it's good if you can. Well, I'm sure you can watch some like YouTube tutorial or something. Some other shit on here. Kabukiage. Never had this. I see it a lot, but I've just never had it. Oh, I have had this. These are good. Actually, these are really good. I've never seen them in the package before, but yeah, I like them too. They're very crunchy but soft in a way. It's kind of weird to describe. And last one, sakeru cheese, which is just string cheese, but still good. I used to eat those a lot when I came to Japan too, but no, it's just fucking string cheese though. But yeah, these are some convenience store foods. I pretty much agree with everything on this list. Take, you know, again, my advice, if you're coming to Japan, you know, take some pictures, you know, save them to your phone and hunt them down in the convenience stores. I just read the items themselves. I didn't get in depth about it, but check it out. They're definitely good. It's really fucking delicious. All right, let me kind of pack all this shit up and get ready to go, because the family's coming. The family's coming. But all right, y'all. Thanks for watching again, and I'll holler at you next time. Peace.